Let's start the year on the first day of summer. To understand seasons, you need to understand the position of the Earth in its orbit and how that affects the sun's rays falling on it. Summer starts on the 21st of June. Why? Because the sun shines straight above 23.5 degrees latitude in the northern hemisphere. 23.5 degrees latitude in the northern hemisphere on this day because our Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees. This imaginary line is called the Tropic of Cancer. And the 21st of June is called the summer solstice. This is also the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, and days progressively get shorter until the 21st of December. With the sun pointing at its highest and the days being the longest, you would guess this is also the hottest day of the year, but you'd be wrong. Due to something called thermal inertia, the oceans and landmass take time to heat up, bringing the hottest weather about 6 weeks after the summer solstice. Moving on, the following season we experience is called autumn. The autumnal equinox is on the 22nd of September. The first day of fall brings the days and the nights at the same length again. The oceans in the northern hemisphere are at their warmest. The tropical storms and hurricanes have begun to form. The weather is getting cooler in the northern hemisphere, and the leaves of many of the trees have started to show their true colors. On the days following the fall equinox, the sun begins to set at the North Pole, bringing 6 long and cold months of darkness, while at the South Pole, the sun is rising. As autumn leaves, winter arrives. The days get shorter and the weather gets cooler, bringing the first day of winter on the 21st of December. This time, the sun shines directly down on the southern hemisphere at 23.5 degrees on the Tropic of Capricorn, marking the shortest day in the north. At the beginning of winter, the northern hemisphere is tilted as far back from the sun as it can. So the light reaching the ground is dimmer and more diffused than at any other time of the year. Again, the coldest day is yet to come because of thermal inertia. The 20th of March brings the first day of spring. The vernal equinox marks the days and the nights being the same length again. And the sun is now directly above the equator. From here, the sun rises higher and higher, and the weather starts to get hotter, bringing life to trees and hibernating animals. Before you know it, we are back on the 21st of June. If you live in the southern hemisphere, your seasons might be reversed. Still, everything above holds for a majority, as the largest landmass concentration on Earth is in the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere mainly contains oceans. Fun fact, before we knew that it takes 365 days for us to complete a trip around the sun, the Egyptians used a calendar very similar to ours. How? They noticed that, like clockwork, the Nile River would flood yearly at about the same time as the appearance of the star Sirius in the sky. The period between appearances was 365.25 days. To recap, we now know the summer solstice, fall equinox, winter solstice, vernal equinox, the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, and how each season moves into the next. Now that we've understood seasons, let's focus on the sun, wind, and oceans.